want to learn how to play the oboe, but you don't have enough money to buy an oboe, so you wind up buying a flute instead. But everyone knows that flutes aren't as good as recorders because, man, those things were so fun to learn how to play in school. Hey guys, I'm back. TutsByKai, and today we're back once again taking a look at how I made these cool boots in Blender. I've done a lot of modeling before in Blender on the channel, or just here and there, whenever, whatever, but I don't know. I've been wanting to do a lot more modeling recently of just like smaller items, just fun little things, to kind of express some of the fantasy ideas or the cool concepts that I've been thinking of recently, instead of fully fleshing them out with an entire game or an entire this or an entire animation. I just make these little pieces, and they kind of give me the inspiration to create more of this world. So for instance, like I'll make these boots, and then I'll make something like a sword, whatever else. It kind of helps a lot with getting into the idea of creating an entire universe or a world for a project without like getting bogged down with the idea of, oh wow, I can't create the entire film that I want to make right now, I can't create the entire game that I want right now. So you make little tiny pieces of it until things start to come together in a way where you can actually do them and have enough time to work on all of these things either separately or all together like this. But today, the main inspiration, there's two things that kind of inspired me with these boots. To be very frank with you, the first thing that I was thinking of was actually Mega Man, because anyone that knows Mega Man, he has these giant boots and these giant, like, hand cannon things, and that's the first thing that I thought of when I started making these boots. And yeah, I kind of just went off with that. And the second thing that I thought of was, of course, Zelda, because I'm gonna turn my fan on real quick because it is extremely hot right now. But the second thing I thought of was Zelda, Link, of course, because he always has these things. But it started looking a little bit more like Sonic, just in different colors. You'll see as it progresses. I've realized I've basically just made Sonic's shoes, unintentionally, just made Sonic's shoes. But yeah, I don't know. It's been very hot recently, so I've been thinking of doing a lot more like summery things, or I've been trying to do projects that fit the season that we're in. So this sounds kind of silly, but recently I've been thinking about doing every year I've been thinking about doing like projects or animations or drawings or whatever else that have to do with the season. And I kind of want to do a drawing a month, like a big drawing, like not like a small little sketch or something like that, but like a big drawing or a big piece of art for each season. So like for winter time, you do a big Santa Claus, drawing, big Santa Claus portrait. For summer, you do like a giant like beach thing or something like that. For spring, you do something, where it's maybe raining. So just something where it matches the tone of each season. And for this is not that, of course, but I've been thinking about doing that. But for this, I was thinking about springtime for this, which is why I thought of saying what I just said. But I was thinking about springtime for this because I just think of boots, and I think of the grass, and I think of whatever else. So it has a lot of earthy kind of tones to it. So when I do the colors, it's like green and then this really light yellow, like, sandy kind of sunshine yellow, kind of washed out color like that. But yeah, I have been thinking about doing things based off the seasons recently, and I really kind of want to do more portraits. I want to draw more. We haven't drawn on the channel in ages. I want to start doing more drawings instead of just like Blender 3 things or even pixel art. I love pixel art, but I want to do more drawing things. So hopefully you guys will be into that when we start doing that. But yeah, I've been really into digital art recently. I've been on Twitter a lot, and I've been seeing a lot of things recently about digital art and having fun with that kind of thing. And man, there's just some beautiful art that you can see in places. But I've been super inspired to do different kinds of things and different with different colors. The funny thing about art is that even a color can inspire you. So for these boots specifically, I saw a shade of green that I really liked, and I'm so serious when I say this. I saw a shade of green that I liked, and I said, you know what, I could make something based off this shade of green. Now this is beautiful. And it was that color green, and it was a boot. I made a boot off of a color. I think that's the coolest thing. So don't be afraid to let silly things kind of inspire your art. Like for instance, you could literally see a singular a singular color or a singular shape, and that shape could quite literally define the entire piece that you're working on, which is insane, which is crazy. So for instance, for this, piece that I'm working on here, it's quite literally, like I said, Mega Man, Legend of Zelda, honestly Sonic, unfortunately, like unintentionally of course, but all these things kind of pieced together, and then the color that I saw was actually a color of grass, from a pixel art piece that I had seen, and I said, wow, that's a really beautiful color, I want to use that green color. So boom, here we are. And it's not really a super fleshed out thing. It's kind of like I said in the beginning of this, it's kind of just an idea, and that idea has kind of been like fleshed out and toned to be something more. Like when I was working on this, the entire time I was thinking, what's this story with these boots? Who's wearing these boots? What boots are these? What are these? What is this? And it kind of, in my mind, it kind of turned into a story of like, maybe a kid, on an adventure, deep in the forest, and maybe he lives out there. And I add legs to it later on. As you can see, it becomes more of a story, and I think that's really important. Instead of just creating small pieces of art, I feel like it's super important to kind of tell a story with some things. So I decided to do that, and I really like the way that turned out. I think the lighting here pieces it together really well. You can see I'm working on the light right now. Basically what I'm doing is, on the front we have a really bright yellowish tone kind of thing to it, and then in the back there we have the blue, which is reflection of something like the water, maybe the water or something, just to make it look nice, like there's an interesting, maybe there's like a magical item behind him. I just love the idea of lighting, because any color you change that to, it'll change the entire tone of the scene. So if I make that a yellow color, if I make it a bright pink, make it a bright green, it'll feel different. And blue felt really natural. It felt really mystical. It felt really bright and mystical. So I went with blue because blue looks really, really nice. So that is it basically for the entire video, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I shall be back with more digital art in the very, very, very near future. Also probably do a lot more of the kind of conversational videos that we did before, where I was talking about the gaming culture and stuff like that, but more for art, of course. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you in the next one, but until then, bye bye.